Hey guys, welcome back to another review on the channel. Today I'll be reviewing Collingwood versus Adelaide, which occurred just moments ago at the MCG for some Sunday afternoon footy. It was Collingwood getting the job done by a couple points. So yeah, let's jump straight into the review. It was a fantastic game, one that was definitely a close call, that's for sure. A couple point win over the Crows. You always take it. It's another close win over the Crows, our third in a row now. I don't know about you guys, but I can start seeing a big rivalry happen with the Crows. But yeah, Cox's 2 goals at the end there, I reckon kick-started it off. A little bit of a rivalry in that last quarter was absolutely amazing. It took a lot of energy out of me, that's for sure. Yeah, just slowly starting to recover my voice after that last quarter. But I tell you what, we've started to build a massive rivalry with the Crows, and another nice win. There, a couple point win. Obviously, we haven't won in a few weeks now, so you obviously take that, and then we're back on the first, which is good. And the way we were able to run out the game, like we always seem to, was fantastic. And yeah, we're just the clutch kings in the last quarters. I've heard now that we've won 11 out of our last 15 games. Trailing from 3/4 time. It's just our last quarters. They're just ridiculous for us, really. But yeah, it was just a really impressive game. Obviously, we didn't start the game off too well the first 15 minutes, but Adelaide didn't really take their chances. And then we had a pretty dominant patch in the second half of the first term, but didn't really take our chances. Then we had a pretty good second term. We all know what happened in that third term. It was absolutely disgraceful. It was disastrous to watch, really. So much went wrong in that third term, but of course, we won the game still thanks to our last quarter. Our only injury concern is Braden Maynard came off late. I think it was in the final 2 minutes, so obviously the club hasn't posted an update on him, but he looked pretty sore. I think it was his ribs. So hopefully he can get up for the clash against Gold Coast. It's a 6-day turnaround, so you never know. He definitely could miss. But yeah, we'll be hopeful that he plays. Obviously, you had some players coming back as well. Jamie Elliott came in and looked pretty good. Especially in the first half, he was really good for us. So yeah, really happy to see him back, and back to hopefully his last year's form, which was fantastic. Nick Dacos got some great midfield time. He was absolutely superb, as you'd expect. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was also great to see Jeremy Howe back. I feel like the whole, not just the Collingwood Football Club, but the AFL in general will just be congratulating Jeremy Howe's return to footy, and he was actually really good in defence as well. So yeah, it was definitely a much-needed return. Obviously, we went to drop Frampton to play some VFL action, and the same went with Ginnivan again, and McCreary was actually moved to the sub in this role, and I thought it actually worked well in this game. Obviously, he's been low in terms of training recently, so we just managed his workload for this one like we have been at training. Obviously, had an injury against West Coast about a month ago now. So we're just trying to manage him, and he didn't kick a goal coming on, but he still looked really good, had 2 tackles, 3 touches, still did his job, you feel. A few players that were quiet and a bit unfortunate. Obviously, Ash Johnson got subbed out, a bit unfortunate. Brody Mytek didn't kick a goal, so yeah, again, that's not great. But yeah, hopefully he can get back to his form that he had pre-bye. And Jack Crisp as well just really struggled today. Adelaide did a really good job on him, and probably particularly targeted him at stoppages, and Adelaide played really well. Like for majority of the game, the third quarter they were fantastic. They had some off patches, obviously. Our pressure was really good in the second quarter, which definitely helped us. But yeah, I just feel that Jack Crisp's ability in this game was completely rubbish. Like, he just had such a bad game. And yeah, look, hopefully he can bounce back. Darcy Moore also started the game off really well in the first half, just like Jamie Elliott. Obviously, Jamie Elliott hitting the scoreboard, Darcy Moore intercepting. Those two were probably our best in the first half. But Darcy Moore did drop off a bit towards the end, and so did Jamie Elliott. Mason Cox lifted it in the second half, particularly the fourth term. He was really solid, kicked 2 goals in that last term. Oleg Markov also had a really good game back into the team. Lipinski was good, which is great to see. And then you got your usual ball winners and Noble, who was fantastic again. Maynard was sensational, won a heap of it today, playing as a bit of a spare. Adams and Pendlebury were fantastic. Isaac Quainer. Now, he's one that I don't speak about enough in my reviews. I always seem to forget a player. And Quainer has been that player this year, which is annoying because I always get frustrated that I always forget to speak about him, but his year has been phenomenal. He rarely loses against his opponent, and today he was just phenomenal again. So, yeah, congrats to him. Darcy Cameron is in some flying form at the moment. Yeah, especially in the last 3 weeks. Like, he was alright at times against West Coast, but majority played well. And then he was really good at King's birthday. And, yeah, this game was probably his best of the season. Josh Dacos, he started off like a house on fire, just like a Nick, and those two were fantastic. And Tommy Mitchell was also superb. For Adelaide, the only player that I feel really dominated was Tex, obviously, with the 5 goals. Jordan Dawson was also very dominant around the clearances, just like the Crows in general. But we were able to score more out of stoppages, so I guess that's not a big concern in the end. But yeah, another win over the Crows, another close one. A couple points. It was by a point earlier this year. It was by, I believe, 4 points last year. So, yeah, it was really good to get the chocolates. Also, young Harvey Harrison kicked the first goal that, well, we really needed after Adelaide had kicked 8 or 9 in a row in that game. Harvey Harrison stemmed the flow and kicked a goal, which is really nice. He looks like he's going to be a really good player. You can tell from early on if you've really found a player, and he looks like a really good player. He's keeping Ginnivan out of the side at the moment, so if he continues the way he's going, he can probably stay in. And the better thing about him is his pressure is a lot better than Ginnivan's. And that's probably why he's in the team, because Bobby Hill's in the Ginnivan position, you know, kicking goals. I think we want another pressure forward, and Harvey Harrison seems to be that type of player. I think Bo McCreary does come back into the team next week. Obviously, McStay's still out. DeGoey's still suspended. He's got, I think it's maybe 1 or 2 more games that he has to feature now, suspended. Might be the one for next week against Gold Coast. But yeah, he'll be a great inclusion back. And a bit of an annoying one, in a good way, because we'll have a big selection squeeze in our mid to forward type roles. Because at the moment, we're absolutely full on there with Lipinski coming back. Having to go back there, we're going to have to switch something around, or I don't know what we're going to have to do, really. But yeah, Sidey will be back soon as well. So yeah, massive selection squeeze coming up for us. We've already got a selection squeeze in our forward line. Our midfield is expected to have a selection squeeze as well. Our defence, most of our defenders are back. Obviously, Billy Frampton can't get in at the minute, but he will probably feature again in the side again this year, you would think. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can start winning again and get back on to a decent streak. And who knows, maybe we could kickstart some more couple point wins like we did a little bit early in the season for about a month. And obviously, like we did last year. Hope you guys enjoyed the review, and stay tuned for my review coming out next week after the Gold Coast clash at Heritage Bank.